Hello, gorgeous people. Welcome back to the Shameless Romantic. I'm Kat, your demisexual spicy BFF, whose goal is to empower you with more pleasure, banish those inhibitions, uncover intense feelings, and deepen those orgasms. I love you guys so much for being here. I just want to take a moment to just share my gratitude with you. Like, I know that this would not be possible if anybody was not even tuning in to listen. So I just thank each and every one of you for tuning in today. And we have a really awesome guest that we're going to talk about some really heavy stuff. Like, I know I'm not the only one. She's not the only one. And I just think there's something to be said about the female intuition. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And everybody join me in welcoming our amazing guest, Bianca.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Bianca.
Thanks
We've
for having
been
me.
trying, I know, thank you so much for coming. We've been trying to get this episode locked in for a while, but we are busy girls. So I'm really happy that it finally got to transpire today.
Finally.
Yeah. And this is your reminder. If you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe anywhere that you're listening, anywhere that you're tuning in. Basically anywhere that you follow me. We're now on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, even YouTube. So make sure that all of you guys are liking, subscribing, so I know what you guys like. How am I supposed to know what you guys like if I don't hear from you directly? Like, that's my feedback system. So give me some love, show it to me everywhere that you're listening. And of course, as always, we're about to get real, raw, and definitely nowhere near vanilla. So, all right, Bianca, the female intuition, like, it's a force to be reckoned with, I have to say. Like,
Yes.
that's one thing we really do have on our side, I think, as women.
Definitely.
Some things we just know.
We just know it. Yeah, like the way our bodies know things,
Mm-hmm.
the way we just know when something's up. Definitely.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Wiz is like all up in
Yeah,
your space
he's
right now.
great.
He's the mascot, official mascot. So this whole episode really transpired because we both went through some very heavy relationships, and just the similarities, like the parallels in both of our situations were too stark to ignore. You know what I mean? I think whenever we think of relationships, specifically the bad ones, we bonded over this, a lot of my other friends, but it's like, for some reason or another, our bodies and like all of our senses happen to know what's going on before like our genuine, like, you know, intuition of like thought comes to a reality, right?
Yeah.
So let's kind of like start from the beginning. You know, we both went through these really heavy relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Do you mind sharing about like, you know, when things seem to be off for you?
Mm-hmm. Well, like I was telling Kat, actually, I don't even know like when we started, what that conversation, like how it came about.
I know, yeah.
But it was so weird how it was such a coincidence how everything that I was telling her, she was like, oh my God, that's happened to me too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was basically in a relationship where I moved almost across the country for this person to start, you know,
Starting life together.
Yeah, a new life and
new
everything.
chapter.
I knew this was in California. I didn't know anybody there. So I had to start from like square one, like no job. I had to look for a job, everything. And what had happened was that when I had finally found like a new job and I went to like a training and everything, this person, mind you, they didn't know how to do basic like household things.
Yeah.
Like I was telling you, he didn't know how to do his laundry, didn't know how to anything.
Like basic life skills.
Yeah, just basic life skills. So
Yeah.
that was one of the things that helped me kind of realize that something was wrong when one time on FaceTime, I just saw that like the bed sheets were changed. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, who did that? Because I know you did it.
I definitely know you didn't do that. So yeah, that was like a red flag for me. But the one thing that really was so shocking that I didn't realize back then was how my body was literally being affected by what he was doing. And I didn't realize. I kind of just brushed it off.
You almost like gaslight yourself too. You're like,
yeah,
oh, no,
like,
there's no
maybe
way.
It's just me. Maybe it's the California weather.
Yeah. You start blaming random shit.
Yeah.
You're like, I never would give this person that much grace before.
Yeah, exactly. So the way my body started, like, I was just constantly like having to go to the gynecologist because I have a UTI, because I have this, I have, you know, and it's like it never crossed my mind that he could potentially be with someone,
right,
seeing someone else,
right.
So,
and I'm sorry if this is like too personal or not, but like, were you guys even using protection at this point? Because you've been dating for so long.
Of course,
you think you can trust them,
so you don't really, like
your guard is down, like 100%.
Exactly, completely.
And the fact you move across the country for someone,
right? Like,
you got to be serious, you know, to even like consider that.
Definitely serious. I mean, you know, to each of their own, like in their relationship, if you use a condom or not. But at this point, no, we weren't, because it's, to my understanding, it was a monogamous relationship. So there was no need. But yeah, it really sucks, like how my body literally, I was just
like screaming out to you.
Sick. It was telling me, it was literally telling me. So like whenever you feel something changes, I'm telling you, your body literally speaks to you.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And I think when you had told me specifically about like the UTIs things happening, that's when like all of my little light bulbs went off. I was like, okay, I know I'm not alone, because that was the exact experience for me too. I was like, you know, I was 20, well, I'm not even gonna say my age at this point, but like, whatever. I was at the age where I was like, okay, you know, I hear of other people getting UTIs, and I thought like maybe it was just something I never would suffer from, because I never had one. And then this person was running around on me, and then the next thing you know, I'm getting UTIs like all the time. And it's like, they don't clear up either, you know, like I had 2 different failed rounds of antibiotics because they just weren't working. And I, unfortunately, at the time, I was so naive. I did not think to get tested. Like, I was just like, oh, you know, whatever. Like, maybe it's just something is happening and it's a really strong one. They say like a lot of antibiotic resistance is such a big thing these days. And I gave him 100%. I gave him so much, like, I gave him the benefit of the doubt. Like, way too much slack that I should have. And the next thing you know, some other things are starting to piece together. I'll share you my whole story, because this is something I felt like I was in a movie when this whole thing went down, right? So this person and I, we have like this really hard, fast, like passionate, right out the gate relationship. And I was getting ready to move, and with a new roommate friend of mine from like my previous situation. And he and I were doing so well. Like, he was like, don't worry about getting, too much time in between. Like, your lease can start a little bit later and you can just come live with me for a week. That was what we were planning on doing. And I had a key to his house, bitch. I had a key, right? God. And I thought like, we're so good. I know, they're fucking, that's a whole other story. I could go on that topic forever. But yeah, so we're having like some other things happening, and we go to like this party. Well, we just have like a big blowout fight because there's a lot of alcohol involved. Also at this time, I think I was drinking the most I think I've ever drank in my life. I've never really been a drinker. I'm usually like maybe a little smoke or like whatever, but I wasn't super heavy into it like that. And he was too. He was very much a big drinker. Like almost every single night, I feel like he was getting wasted. But that's neither here nor there. We have this big blowout fight, and I go stay with a friend, and I could not sleep the whole night, girl. I tossed and turned the whole night, and I had to go to work the next day. And I woke up and I was like, I feel like absolute dog shit. And then I'm thinking in my head, I was like, oh my God, like my makeup is at his house. I need to get clothes for work. And it's like, I think this is maybe around 6:30, 7 o'clock. And so I was like, well, I got a key. Let me just go sneak in really quick, because he doesn't even wake up before like probably 9 or 10 in the morning. And so I go in, I see a car in the driveway that I don't recognize. I'm like, He lives with another friend of his. I'm like, again, giving him the benefit of the doubt, even though I didn't see his other friend's car there. So I was like, okay, like already I felt my heart was like racing.
Mm-hmm.
So I go ahead, unlock the door, I walk in, I'm getting my stuff, and I'm walking down this little hallway that, you know, around the corner would be to his room. I'm walking down and I see the doors like kind of cracked open, and I see a pair of sandals on the inside of his door.
Oh God.
And I was like, bitch, how healed are you right now? That's what I had to ask myself. I was like, how healed are we right now? Because I had put in a fuck ton of work at this time.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Let me see for my fucking eyes. Because I'm gonna continue to give this man so many chances, so many opportunities, so much benefit of the doubt. I'm like, no, I need to see this. I need to see this. It's gonna hurt like hell, but I need to fucking know. He was also a master manipulator and gaslighter, by the way. So once again, this is more so I see it with my fucking eyes. You can't tell me what I saw, what was going on. You can't give me shit. Yeah. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna see for myself. And so I walk in, like peek in. Sure enough, both of them naked in bed sleeping.
Oh God.
Girl, I can't tell you how much strength and control in that moment. Like a previous version of me, oh my God, like heaven help both of them, I would have gone and seen red and been crazy. But I was like, take a breath, Kat, take a breath. This is not what I want my future to look like. This is never going to happen to me again. If they do, that is 100% their loss, and you need to walk away. You did everything that you could, right? You were a good woman. You treated him like a king. You would cook, you would clean. And this was literally just dating. Like I once again walk away from this relationship reinforcing and encouraging everyone else out there. You do not give husband treatment to someone who has a boyfriend. They have not upgraded your finger. Like that's just not even a thing. 100% not. And yeah, I grabbed my shit. I walked out. I never said a word to this man. And I was like, okay, well, let me at least get my shit. Luckily, later that day, I would be getting the keys to my next apartment because it was like that week, you know, it was like the very last day of the week I had been staying with him. And so I got all my shit. I called all my friends on my way to work. Literally, I was going to work. I was going to be fine. I could like tuck it away and like cry about it later. But I called all my friends. I was like, hey, I need your help. Tomorrow morning, we're going to show up at this man's house. I'm going to get all of my shit one fell swoop. I do not want to be there longer than 30 minutes to get all of my shit. And I want to leave and I want to block him. I want to never, ever say anything to this man again. And sure enough, like I had been dealing with the UTI thing recurrently. I had a weird mystery illness. Like I just felt like drained all the time. But after that day, after getting all of my shit, blocking him, having so much peace, UTI's gone. I slept almost a whole day because I was upset. You know, you're crying, you're going through it. But after I had woken up from that slumber, I woke up refreshed. Like when I tell you, he was the problem and I could not see it with my eyes or my brain or my heart, but my body knew, like, okay, it's over. Like that whole like terrible gaslighting, like just so much bullshit that I had to put up with, it was gone and I felt like I was me again.
Yeah, like it was meant to be. Everything was aligning.
Yes.
Like you getting your apartment the same day, like
yes,
it was just meant to be.
Yes.
It's
and it could have been a little karma, you know what I mean? Like I can't say that I've been the best person, the best girlfriend, the best whoever. Like something may have been out to get me at that moment, but I think that was the karmic cycle to release me from it, to where I was like, you're washing your hands and you're done. And like for you, whenever that had happened, what happened for you?
Yeah, for me, like I was young, like I was like 19. And again, California, new state, I don't know anybody there. Like I left everything that I knew behind for this person. So it was very hurtful. And mind you, I do want to like clarify that I didn't find out anything until after the fact that he had broken up with me.
Oh shit. Did you like confront him about the bed sheets?
I actually didn't. I was very naive, so I was just like, you know, I gave him the benefit of the doubt. So this kind of went on for about, I want to say 5 or 6 more months until like the breakup, and how it happened. Also, we were like from completely, totally different cultural backgrounds. He was Arab, Puerto Rican. So the reason for the breakup was that I was Puerto Rican and his parents just
Wouldn't approve.
Yeah, they wouldn't approve.
That's bullshit.
So that was heartbreaking in itself, because it was like, wow, like I'm not, you know, being accepted for who I am, and now like they're literally just kicking me out. They're kicking me out. I had to pack everything like the same way I came, because I literally brought like 2 suitcases and my dog. Same way that I came, I left. And then it was after like I was already in Florida that a girl messaged me on Instagram. She was like, hey, she basically told me everything. She was like, yeah, like I've been seeing him. He's actually been seeing a few other girls. So it wasn't just her, it was like different ones and then me.
That's the worst.
It's it really
the fact
sucks.
that she knew about other bitches and you didn't too. Like what the fuck?
Right. But and then I also I don't like to blame myself either, because sometimes I felt back then I felt, oh my god, I'm so stupid. Like how did I not like realize? But I was so focused on just creating like kind of like a future, because I needed to settle down. Like we're talking, I was focused on like getting health insurance in California,
right.
Getting a job, okay, like the school, because I was taking like online classes back then. So it really didn't cross my mind like at all. And the fact that
you trusted him.
There was there was a lot of signs, like obviously with like my health, like, you know,
besides UTI
everything.
and stuff, what else was going on for you?
Besides UTI, the craziest thing that I had never had before was like yeast infections. That if you've ever been through that, honestly, it's like the worst thing ever. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Like that is the most uncomfortable infection that you could possibly have. So, and I actually remember going to like a gynecologist visit, and even the gynecologist herself being like, are you like in a monogamous relationship? Like
that was her way of being like girl to girl.
Way of being like, girl, like you need to check your man. Like if it's not you, it's him.
Right.
And I really didn't think anything of it. I was like, well, like. And then granted, on my grandmother's side, my mom's side, we all kind of have like issues, you know, but that's like they're like our own bodies. So I also thought that, okay, maybe it's because of that, like we're very sensitive and whatever. But we're sensitive, like our pHs are sensitive. Obviously, like if your man is running around, that's gonna completely throw your pH off. And being like young and naive and just really not focused on that definitely affected me a lot.
But still, you were 19 at the time.
19,
you know, you were growing and you were like still uncovering who am I, and the fact that this man's doing that to you, that's too much. You know what I mean? That's too much too fast. And that's not fair to you to have to like feel like you can even be safe in a place that's supposed to be your home. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's the worst.
And looking back and thinking, like, oh my god, like someone else was here. Like my dog probably saw that.
What has my dog seen?
Like what has my dog seen that he can't tell me?
I half wonder what like animals would do and what they would say if they could talk
like I wish he could be like, bitch, get out of here.
But like, you're the third bitch this week. What you mean? I wish, bro. I wish. Like, oh, no way. So, like, okay, so at the time, was this, like, your first serious relationship, too, or?
I would consider it, like, my first serious relationship. I've had, like, other relationships before. I would say, like, my not-so-serious, but yes, serious. I had one in high school. From, I want to say, maybe, like, junior, senior year, and then on and off. Like after graduating. But I don't really consider it that serious anymore.
No,
just because I don't. It's
don't know.
High school.
Yes.
Yeah, it's high school. At that point, it's just like infatuation. Like you're just.
Everybody's just bumbling around.
Yeah, literally.
You don't even know how to have sex properly. You don't even probably even know how to like.
You probably think it's the best sex of your life.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like I remember when I was younger. Like I've always been very open and honest with my mom. She's young. She's hip. She tries to be like. That cool fun mom, which I get it, but she definitely, we had a lot of tugs. Yes, like I'm not a regular mom, I'm a cool mom. But she was always like just talking real life to me, and I cannot thank her more. Like some people, then when I told them this, they're like, oh, I think she might have had you grow up a little too fast. But at the same time, I felt so prepared for the world and how to handle a lot of situations.
Yeah.
And I could also call her, at any point in time. And she had always told me, like, when it comes to those kind of situations, you think that it's good now, but it's just wait till you get older. Like, it gets better. Everything gets better. You get smarter. Mm-hmm. You, like, pay attention more. Like, those red flags that you think are small, they become this, like, I'm not even interested. Like, you just completely morph. And I hate that, like, when we're younger like that, we just get like used and abused by these men because they're like, oh, she's young, naive. I can put her through the ringer. She'll be fine. You know what I mean? I don't care to run around on her. I don't care what kind of like long-term damage that I could do. Yeah. But the truth is, like, that shit hurts. And especially when you realize your body has found it out way before you even were like cognizant of it.
Even like your self-worth. Like you feel like, for me, it was like a mixed feelings of, dang, like, okay, it's wrong that I'm Puerto Rican. I wasn't accepted for that.
That as well.
Like I'm not.
That's a whole nother level. Because you
I'm
can't
not
even help
enough
that
physically. Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's how you're born. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. You can't love me for me. Like, why not? Kind of thing. So, and have you ever like had any other communication from that man?
Not at all.
Good.
What was crazy was that after like the breakup and everything, that I had already moved to Florida. Like he kind of just turned everything on me and made me look like the bad person and everything.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I would still be there if you weren't running around on me.
Right, exactly. But for me, it was like once I kind of like woke up from like the sadness, that like depressive mood. I was kind of like, ew, like. He didn't even know how to boil water, how to tie a shoe. Didn't know how to
tie a shoe. Oh my God!
Honestly,
help this man.
No, I wish I was lying, but like, do you know like when you buy shoes and they're already like pre-tied?
Yes.
So he would just leave them like that,
and he's like, just let me slip it in.
Yeah, so it's like, I literally, at that point, I got the ick, and I was like, like, I don't even, like,
you're not even self-sufficient.
He did me a favor, his parents did me a favor by, like, buying me a plane ticket, kicking me out.
You should have been like, I'll leave your man alone if you buy me, like, a couple Chanel bags as well.
Yeah, like, listen, I definitely got the ick, and I was like, I can't, like, I can't, and the friends that I had like over there, like in California, were basically his friends. So it was like I lost that, and it's like, oh, okay.
But
like,
were they even true friends?
Right, exactly. It wasn't a relationship that I built like with them. So it was kind of like, I was just brought into it.
Yeah, you were like a friend by proxy.
Exactly. So, yeah.
Damn, bro.
It's crazy.
So, did you block him per se, or you just never heard from him again?
I did block him, because back then, like, Twitter was, honestly, it was really popping. I don't really go on Twitter anymore, since then. But he was going on, like, crazy rants about me, and, like, it was insane. Like, and I would just be like, oh my God, if only people knew. Like, if only I could show them all my gynecologist notes. Literally. Like,
you should respond to, like, every post with, like, a screenshot of, like, some bitches that he was talking to.
Right, exactly.
Like, do with this what you will.
Honestly, the worst thing for me is like some girl going into your DMs like, hey girl, I'm coming
to you as a woman. That is literally 100%.
God.
Anytime that shit comes out, I'm like, here it goes.
Yeah, I'm like, oh God, like please. It's so embarrassing. It's really embarrassing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I blocked him. I never talked to him again.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just happy that you took it with a grain of salt and you can look at it now like he did me a favor.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's
a lesson that I learned now, like, for the future. Like,
100%.
Definitely listen to your body.
Yeah.
Listen to your gynecologist. If they're telling you something, it's because they know something's up.
Yeah. They just don't want to, like, offend you. But they're like, hey, girl, you might want to double check on that.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Okay. So, all right. And then in terms of, like, for me, whenever I never actually really confronted him per se. But, like, whenever I went to go get my shit, it was like me and all my friends, and he's literally walking, like chasing me around through the house, like as I'm making trips. He's like, please talk to me. I just don't understand why you're doing this. Blah, blah, blah. Like he was so playing the victim about it. And I was just like, just get out of my way. Get out of my face. Get out of my way. Like I ignored his questions and just kept telling him to move. And then finally, when I get everything, I'm like, hey guys, like, do we have everything? Do we get this? Like all these, trips out of the living room, out of the bedroom, whatever, da. Like, are we good? Are we ready to go? And then right when we were ready to leave, I let him have it. I was like, you think you're so fucking smart, don't you? Like, I came in, I have a key. Like, are you just that stupid? Like, what is wrong with you to think that you could even do that? And then just, think that I'm not gonna notice? Think I'm not gonna pay attention? Like,
he literally gave you access.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Yeah. I was like, you're the dumbest piece of shit in the whole world. Like, get out of here. Yeah. Do not talk to me. Do not contact me. Like, I do not ever want to see you again in my whole life. Like, thank you for the lesson, but goodbye. And I just threw the key, like, in his yard. So I don't even know if he found it, whatever. But I was like, fuck you. I never want to hear from you again.
Yeah.
So I think he did try to reach out, like, because I blocked him on everything, but he still found ways to, like, get in touch with me. He had friends reach out to me, trying to, like, further perpetrate his story. And I'm just like, bro, y'all are stupid. Mm-hmm. Like, how dumb do you think I am? Like, you're ignorant.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I had friends because he had, like, he told his friends, like, just a completely different story, obviously. So they would, like, message me, like, oh, like, he's heartbroken. And I'm like, I'm heartbroken.
She's heartbroken, yeah.
I don't say I would regret anything, but one thing is that I do wish that I had, like, the chance to, like, go off on him.
Right,
but at the time, like, I literally just didn't know. I was so, like, oblivious. Like, I didn't know anything. Yeah. And it wasn't until, like, it was already, like, too late when I found out. Right. So, like, all he got from me was, like just emotional, like crying, like why? Right. But oh God, I wish if I could go back, which I wouldn't go back.
Yeah, no, you can't.
But I would love to go off.
Yeah, no, I get it. I think for me, what helped a lot is like journaling. Like I would act like, I'm writing letters to myself in that moment. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm so proud of you for taking the higher road. Yeah. Like, I'm so proud of you for walking away and knowing what you deserve. Like, you just kind of, like, have to flip the script and the narrative to, like, frame yourself in that way of, like, you didn't do anything wrong. You did the best you could kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And, he's the one who fumbled you. Yeah. Like, that's really the name of the game. And this is also a message to just like anybody. Like if somebody really does that and they fumble you that hard and they think they can just, run around on you, don't stand for that shit. Mm-hmm. Don't even let it run a minute. Like you need to know that you are worthy and deserving of somebody who's going to be faithful to you, going to be real with you. For me, as the person that I am, we even had multiple talks about like bringing girls to bed, like, just let me know who it is. Like, I just want to meet her, make sure the vibe is good. Like, I don't care. We can do that. Mm-hmm. I'm so fluid with it. And the fact that he chose to do shit like behind my back.
Right. Didn't even share.
No, like literally. I'm like, hello. I mean, she was not cute, first of all, but we could have found someone who was cute and maybe scratch that itch that you had, but you just have so little self-esteem you had to run around on a good girl like that. Feel sorry for that man, but it's fine because again, we're grateful for the lesson and we're able to walk away from it and be like, okay, that's it. You played your cards, I'm gonna play mine.
Yeah,
and
exactly. We're done.
We're done. 100%. So I don't know if you were to like go back, if you were to like change anything, do you think you would have seen any signs before you even moved? Like, or do you think really all the shenanigans started when you're like in California?
Yeah, I honestly didn't even see anything prior to moving. He was in medical school, so like his whole vibe came off as just being too busy. Like, too busy to basically have a life. Yeah. And honestly, if there's anyone out there that is in medical school, yes, like that is true. You literally don't have a life. Like it's just books. So that's kind of like the vibe that I got from him. So I never really thought that anything was going on. There wasn't any signs like on social media. There wasn't like literally anything. And in regards to like social media, he was always very, very, very open about me. Like, so
yeah, that's the fact that a girl would like walk into that and be like, let me go wreck this home.
Right. But and for me, I've kind of learned like to not blame the girl as much, honestly, because it's like
you don't know what he's telling them.
Yeah, bitches could do whatever, but the guy is actually the one. Like you're the one that has the power to say like no or like, you know. But yeah, he was super open about me, would flaunt me everywhere, like on Instagram. So now y'all know that doesn't mean anything. Yeah. It really doesn't mean anything.
No. Have you had the opportunity? Let me not say opportunity because that puts it in a positive light. Have you found yourself ever being the other woman? Has that ever happened to you?
No.
No. Okay. Well, I can speak on the other end when I say
instances,
like,
there's been instances where obviously almost, but I kind of just like cut it off. Because from like experiences, you kind of feel like, oh my God, like I would hate for that to be me. Like in high school, that's exactly what happened. He just sent me like the I need space text. And then all of a sudden, like, I think like 24 hours later, he's like on Instagram with someone else. So it's kind of like you definitely were with her the entire time. Yeah. Or at least for some of it. So yeah, for me, like I feel like my conscience just won't let me do it just because I do believe in like karma and I just hated when it happened to me and I would always like cut it off.
Oh, but that's a good thing. You had like that morality of it. For me, like unfortunately, I did find myself being the other woman, and it was shitty because the guy at the time was like, yeah, you know, I'm leaving my wife. Like they just feed you the same bullshit. And I mean, I don't know, you know, what exactly he would have said to this other chick. You know, you're not married, but at the same time, it's like she was gonna see all of this on his profile and like, you know what I mean? It's no secret that he's with you. And then what? He's just be like, oh, I'm just so miserable with her. Like, I can't wait to break up. And you know what I mean? Like just feeding them bullshit to where, unfortunately, also I can look back at that point in my life where I know I still did not have the self-confidence that I should have had. And I accepted a lot of that, like bullshit, breadcrumbing, all of those other things. Like I consider myself a recovering people pleaser and like just lover girl to like a fault. I give people a lot of benefit of the doubt when I should not have. So nowadays I flip that shit on like 100% 180. Like you need to earn the right to talk to me. You need to earn the right to take me out. You need to earn the right and like maintain the level of like energy that you bring initially, because you know that's also how you can really separate the cream from the crop. And like people who are narcissists and that they want to just like love bomb you from the jump, if you come in hard and fast, already my little flags are going up. But then the second I start to see that energy change and then you're not doing what you used to do, and like I find it's so hard, like it's hard to reach you and talk to you, that's when I'm like, okay, no, Like, that's it. Bye. Like, you don't even get to, like, touch me before all of this has to, like, settle. I didn't mean to hit the mic. But before all that's settled.
Yeah. And for us, I think it's also, like, like how you were saying that you found yourself in a situation like that. We're more, like, emotional at times. And I feel like if you really like someone and you like their company and, like, you kind of see it going somewhere, you just eat up, like, all these lies and you don't realize at the moment. Because it's like, why would you? Like, you're having a good time with this person. Like, they're telling you that they're miserable and that it's complicated and they're separated right now or whatever. So it's kind of like you see, like, that glimmer of hope that maybe, like, you and that person could go somewhere.
Right.
And in reality, they're just living their best life.
Right.
With
having their cake and eating it too.
Right, exactly.
So that's that's definitely one of the hardest hitting things for me too. So also, maybe it's a personal question, but was he even good in bed? Like, was it even worth it to be like, damn, like, I hate to, like, leave that?
No.
See, and isn't that the worst?
And again, I was young and I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, now looking back, I'm like, wow, like, I literally didn't know anything. Like, I didn't know anything. Like, please. Please. Not at all. Yeah. I mean, size was there for sure, but it doesn't matter if we, like, if you're bumbling around, then I mean,
yeah. Well, at least that's the good part of it. So the guy who, like, you know, this whole, you know, thing happened to be kind of, like, touching on, he was, like, fucking tiny. Like, I was literally like, yeah, you know how to do other things, that's great. And he would be popping blue pills because he needed them, and I'm just like, okay, why did I settle for this? Why? Like, you look back on it and you're like, girl, you young and dumb. Like, you just did not know.
You could have been out there having the time of your life.
Yes, exactly.
He definitely was. So.
Oh, yeah, I know. I should have. I should have known. Like, not that I should have known. I'm not going to put that blame on myself. But, you know, looking back now, it's just, if things were not really meeting my my threshold of, like, what you have to have in order to even reach me at this point, girl, that's it.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
That also definitely comes with, like, experiences and everything. Like you said, you don't want to blame yourself. I didn't want to blame myself either, like, back then, and I still don't. Yeah. Just because, again, we're just going through experiences, and it just, you're already at such a low place in your life where, like, you don't feel confident or whatever. So for you to just put yourself down just because, like, oh my God, I should have known that he was doing this or something, it's like, it's even more, like, hardening your self-esteem, everything. Right. It's like, oh, like,
but that's, like, your own form of victim shaming.
Exactly.
You know, and that's another really big hot topic that I really want to touch on today. Especially, like, I'm definitely not, like, a big pushing my political beliefs on anybody, but, like, if the cards are in front of you, you know, sure, it might take you a minute to see it, but that doesn't mean that you should have seen it. You know, like, victim shaming is not something that I will ever tolerate. And, you know, light of everything else going on in the world, like, I don't believe in that. And, you know, reproductive rights right now is such a hot topic, like, in our elections, in a lot of our conversations, like, the different kind of things that I've talked to my friends about, you shouldn't have to, like, be burdened with that when things happen. And unfortunately, us women, we're the ones who carry a lot of that shame and hurt, and we carry children. Like, there's a lot of things we end up having the repercussion of, and other people get to walk away scot-free. So
yeah, I definitely feel like men just get to swing it around and just have fun.
Helicopter it around a little bit. And they're just like, oh, do you want some? You want some?
Yeah, and then we just suffer. We really do suffer.
Yeah, like energetically too. I joked about this, like, it was like a half-hearted joke, because if it were reality, cool. But, like, I had a joke with my friend. It was like, I wish dudes would have to get a vasectomy, and then they would have to apply to get it removed, and then you would actually be able to have children. You know what I mean? Because it's like, so many times, how often do we hear of, like, women just getting stuck with this really shitty dude, and then, like, he treats her so bad, she gets pregnant, and then he's like gone after he hears about that. You know what I mean? There's no repercussion for what he does. Like it's such an age-old story that why are we as women having to do that? And in like an energetic way of looking at things, I feel like us as women, we are meant to be in our receiving. You know, like that's feminine energy, is flowing and receiving and just kind of like being able to relinquish kind of like control and stuff to a man. But in this day and age, it's like we all suffer from a wounded feminine. All of us. We have trouble receiving. That's why so many of, myself included and other girlfriends of mine, we go in this hyper independence. Like, I don't need no man. I don't need that. I can do it all by myself. And I'm in no way knocking that, because we do what we got to do at the end of the day. But in energetic speaking, like it's harmful. Like over a very long extended period of time, which for me feels like all of my 32 years. I'm like, oh yeah, it gets a little tiring. And you think you can like trust somebody and receive, and you know whatever energy they're giving you is coming from a good place, when that's not always the case.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I definitely feel like I'm at that point now where I have more of like that feminine energy than I do that masculine energy.
Good.
I feel like in that past relationship I had to have like masculine energy, like you know, basically handle like everything. Because he didn't know any better. And I also don't really blame him for that either. But culturally, that's kind of like common. Honestly, like if you know, like for men, it's like very common for them to be babied and like taken care of by their mothers all the time. They don't know how to cook. They don't know how to like fend for themselves. They really don't. So I don't blame him for that either. But yeah, now like being able to just let my guard down and just like relax. And receive and be treated, get the princess treatment. Like that is.
Well, that's a sign of a healthy relationship too, because you can trust someone and know that they got your back and they're going to be providing from you when you need that. And it's beautiful to be seeing that when you can just flourish as a woman and be like, I can be in my feminine and relax and step back and receive and just flow. And like let the guys do that hard work. Like that's what they're meant to be doing. You know, it's like that hard, fast, masculine energy, you know, urgency, action, doing all that shit. And we as women, we are meant to be slow. We are meant to be like soft.
They also like it too. Like they like to feel. It just does something to their ego, like everything. They just love to feel like they're like needed.
I did a whole episode about like masculine and feminine energy, and from the experiences that I've had of myself and a lot of the research that I've done, some of the best compatibility and like passion in relationships come when you are both very polar in your respective right. When I'm really in my receiving feminine and the guy's really in his masculine, when we come together, it is like sparks are flying. Like in the bedroom, in just real life, we thrive because we both know that we have our strengths and I'm going to act on my strength, and I know you've got me and your strength and you've got my back. And you just kind of like, it's a trust, it's like a compassion because you know where each other is coming from. And the relationship just thrives, you know? And I think that is what everybody deserves. And hopefully the man children and the little like fucking pieces of shit that want to run around on our women, hopefully they just stop. Like collectively as a woman, we just need to stop giving pussy to low level men. You know what I mean? Like if you see like a piece of shit coming your way, walk the other way. Leave them alone. You know? Because that's not going to do anything for you. She's gonna bring your energy down. You're gonna feel like shit.
Change your pH.
And yes, exactly, 100%. Your pH is gonna get thrown off. You're gonna be dealing with shit, and you're gonna be getting heads up from your own gynecologist. So, yeah, girl, that's rough. That's rough. So, the guy that you're seeing now, like, how would you, you know, off of what we've talked about so far, how would you be able to describe that relationship?
Perfect. Good. I mean, like, I would say in my eyes, like perfect in
Yeah.
regards to like
Everyone has
how-
hiccups, but as long as it's like
Right,
the
yeah.
overarching feel is like
Exactly.
here, high.
Yeah, it's been like almost 5 years of this relationship, and we're definitely like in that secure stage, and he's very focused like on our future and you know, everything that he wants like for us. So it definitely feels a lot more secure. I don't feel bad like about myself or anything. Like it's just very, it's secure.
Yeah.
It's definitely more, I can't even compare it to anything else because it's more real. Like it just, it feels.
And you said already that you feel more in your feminine these days.
Yes.
Because
Yeah,
he's
definitely.
probably
In regards
helping
to-
you feel that way.
Yeah, exactly. With everything, like when I'm out, I just like my guard is so low that I'm just expecting him to just like handle everything.
Girl, I feel that. Especially
Yeah.
when it's like traveling. I'm like, I'm a princess. You handle it. You handle it.
Like, yeah.
You get the bags? Okay, great. I just show up. I get my passport.
Yeah, I show up and then I'm just like in La La Land. He's just making sure that everything's good.
Yes.
Yeah.
As it should be.
It feels
You
good.
know, no one needs to be like pushing you as a girl to be like, come on, babe, hurry up, like get this done. We need to do this.
Yeah.
Da, da, da. Like that stresses me out. The second you start like hitting me with all these like to-do lists, we need to do this and that, and I'm just like, how about you do it? I'm getting stressed just hearing you talk about it.
I'm getting overstimulated.
Yes. That is the word of the year. Like this year, I can't tell you. Overstimulated is an understatement, but like the best term in terms of like how I've been feeling lately.
Yeah.
But that's more of like,
I use it a lot.
yeah, but it's more like not even like my relationship, but just like life in general right now. So many things have just been like going off the handles.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, too much is happening right now and I need to relax. So
It's exhausting.
yes, exactly. So, okay. But I love it. Okay. Anything else that you want to maybe just like share from your experience? Anything like words of wisdom? Any knowledge that you just want to share with everybody?
I think in general, like just going back to like our intuition and just like how our bodies know, I know that at times it may seem like we're like at our lowest, especially like with something like so personal that is like our health. Like as women, like it just makes us feel gross.
Right. And that's like our intimate areas too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's really
like
that's the center of our being.
that's our flower. Like we're supposed to just be, you know, we're not supposed to be feeling like down and gross about ourselves. So I just think that if you see the signs, just really listen to them. If you have, at that time, I wish that I had like non-judgmental advice, because I would say like from my mom it'd be like, oh, like get out or whatever, and it's not really like helpful, or like it just wasn't helpful. It's just really just like judging.
Right.
So
You need
if
something
you
more rooted in facts.
Yes.
And like just to put you more at ease.
Yeah, if you have anyone in your life who you know that you can get that kind of advice from, that's helpful, that will not in any way put you down or make you feel like shit about yourself, definitely reach out to those people. Like, hey, like this is kind of happening. I don't know if this has happened to you before, but I'm going through this. I really don't know what to do. Like, this is really unusual. Because trust me, you may be blind to it, but there's gonna be definitely someone out there who,
that outsider opinion.
yes, who's gonna like see it from their point of view and be like, wait, like
That's off.
this is off, something's wrong, like we need to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so whether we need to sneak in their house with their key, something. So definitely, like, if you have that support, reach out to it,
Yeah.
because you're worth so much more. Like, you're worth
Preach.
everything. Like, you're so special, you're beautiful, like, so definitely, like, don't let a UTI get you down, because majority of the time it's not your fault, someone else's. So,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So don't do it. And I'll also plug like a little thing here, like that it really took me back. My mom used to say this to me, where it's when you aren't meant to be in a certain situation with a person, you know, wherever, if you're just somewhere where you're not meant to be, it's like life is going to keep making you uncomfortable and put you through more and more shit until you finally get the courage and the self-respect to remove yourself from that person, place, or whatever thing. Because everything is energy, and I wholeheartedly believe this, that if you are up here and you're with this low vibrational man or, I don't know, situation, place, job, whatever you're in, it's going to lower you down. Like, nothing is ever going to be coming up to your level. No. It does not happen that way. Everything that's there, temptation, all these things, it's there to distract you and pull you down to its level. So don't just fight the temptation. Like, don't sink to their level. Don't think that, oh, it's going to get better, like, maybe if I just do this, like, no, that's the same mentality of like you freaking out and like writing this whole paragraph to a simpleton man who's literally gonna like it or like say K or you know what I mean? It's not gonna change. People show you their colors for a reason, and you have to act on it. No one else is gonna do it for you. So you gotta go in, you gotta swoop in and save yourself sometimes.
Yeah. And you'll just see like how everything aligns for you.
Exactly.
Like, you were meant to get out of that situation. Kat got her apartment that same day.
Yes.
Like, it's just, you're just meant to get out. For me, it was like, I was able to come here, be with family. Like, I think I've grown more as a woman and even professionally and like in my education than I ever have before.
Yeah.
Like, so
and that's also the difference between women and men. Yeah. We like, as soon as we break up, we're like applying to Harvard and we're getting our masters. Yeah. Like, we're getting better. We're gonna level up. Yeah. Like maybe this is life being like, all right, girl, it's time to level up. Like we've
already has a kid. Yeah. You know, like.
Yeah.
Which, nothing wrong with that. But
no.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but we always get better as women. We always get better. And guys just sit around and wallow in their own filth like a little pig. So you don't need the whole pig. You just need a little bacon sometimes. Just saying. Well, I think that's pretty much all I have for today. Is there anything else you might want to add, love? Like anything?
I think so.
Okay, where can they find you if they ever want to talk to you? Like social, plug, whatever you want.
I don't know. My Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram. That works. Yeah.
Like my personal Instagram.
Yeah.
I feel like, my personal Instagram. Just tag me.
Yeah. It's like Bianca.
Yeah, with like 3 A's.
Yeah.
It's a little complicated.
But reach out to me if you ever need to find her, if you can't find her. But it's like B.IANCAAA. So, yeah. But we're here for you.
B.IAANCA.
Oh, God. Okay. So that's what it is. Okay. Perfect. Well, you heard it here first. Trust yourself. Trust your body. It will never lead you wrong. Like, it knows before everything else catches up. So just trust that. But yeah. What have you guys learned? Slide in our DMs. You know, we're always happy, ready, and willing to chat you up. If you've had a similar experience, just know you're not alone. You can always talk to us, even if it's, like you mentioned, like that unjudgmental opinion or outsider looking in that you just want to bounce some ideas off. I wouldn't even know, you know, the other person most likely. Right. So, like, we can give you some, you know, unbiased advice, how we would approach the situation. And yeah.
We've been there, done that.
Exactly. And Wiz says goodbye. That's all that we have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm grateful that you guys are here. I hope you guys learned something, you know, gained some really awesome knowledge today. And, you know, thanks for trusting me to be your spicy BFF. Remember to always take steps towards bettering your love, romance, and sex life. And don't forget to like and subscribe wherever you're listening. And as always, stay nasty but classy. Until next time.